How you doing, YouTube? This is Will from Will Development. Today I'm going to show you how to make farmer's walk handles from just a few things I picked up at the hardware store and one used pallet. So, the first thing you want to do is get your hands on a pallet, if you can. Or if you really wanted to just make it simple, quick, and easy and you had the tools to cut it, get a 4x4. It'll be just as strong. I wouldn't say stronger because the way I'm going to show you how to connect all these planks together is going to make one very strong board. So if you follow my social media, you'll see I posted a picture of this baby up the other day. I made one farmer's handle just to make sure I could make it and make sure it would be strong. And I actually tested these planks. I put 6 of them together and laid them in between my old rack, my squat rack, and put plates on them, and it supported all the Olympic plates I have, which is upwards of 300 pounds, and I did put the weight right in the middle, which would be the weakest point, and they weren't even connected back then. And these boards actually are all drilled together with some screws, so that actually makes it stronger because now they act basically as one piece. And the way I figure it, if I'm going over 300 pounds per arm, I'm probably going to be at a level in a career of strongman where I'm not thinking about do-it-yourself fitness anymore, and I'm going to need some real metal and welded together stuff and things of that nature. I apologize for the wind if it messes up any of the vocals. Here, I'll do my best in editing to make it sound as clear as possible if it comes out grungy. So, the things I've got a couple extras that you won't need, but this is just what I used. Use this as a basis to figure out how to make your own. You don't have to use every exact piece of equipment I have laid out on this table exactly how I did it. I took this idea from one guy who basically used this, drilled a hole through the handle, and put these through them, and except it's a hook bolt, and he used that, and he picks up his easy bars with that, and does farmer's walks that way. Genius. Cheaper than this also. But I wanted something that was made just for farmer's walks, that you didn't need any extra clamps or anything, you just put the plates on and walk. So, that's what we got. I just got some basic bolt screws here. These are the same length as those. I bought these at Lowe's, or at Ace actually, not knowing I had a whole box of these black ones at home. And I actually bought anchors too, which didn't need. These are actually for these anchor plates here. Now this one I did need because of the way I'm doing it, is a 1/2-inch bit, just so I can drill a hole for these to go through the planks when I'm done. I got 3 threaded nipples, 2 eye bolts, and 2 anchors, and a bunch of screws, screwdriver, and then my ratchet is just because the heads have a hex head on them, so they require a socket. And this bit is actually just the perfect size for these anchors also. So I picked up these at Lowe's, and I mentioned it in a video before where I talked about T-handles, but whenever you can, get black nipples, threaded nipples. They're cheaper. Now these are actually 18-inch, and I was pretty neat because I had bought a bunch of 12-inch ones, and I actually ended up taking them back. I hadn't used them, and I took them back, and I traded these out. I originally had 12-inch on these. For these, make them as long as you want. They're not in the way, trust me. And I'll show you a video of me carrying them around, so you'll see that they're definitely not in the way. But 12-inch at least, 18-inch, I bought these because the 12-inch ones were $5, and the 18-inch were on sale for $3. So guess what I'm going to buy? The 18-inch ones, because in this case, longer is better. I also got a couple caps here, which you'll see how those work. The caps basically just make sure that the handle doesn't slide around too much. Now this is, when you see it here, it's not completely stable. It's not the most stable thing in the world. The actual boards here are stable, and these 2 pipes are stable too. But here is not very stable. But when you got weight on it, you don't notice, trust me. So without further ado, I'm just going to show you the assembly process, probably in a little speed fashion. And just follow along and you'll see what's going on. One thing I did fail to mention is that I am going to be using power tools for this, specifically a drill. Ear protection recommended. Eye protection, I'm definitely going to grab my safety glasses and wear those. So when you see the video, I will be wearing safety glasses, just because you never know, a piece of wood flies up, hits you in the eye, you know. So when you're doing this at home, if you're doing this, you know, take all the necessary precautions. Wear gloves if you feel you need to also, you know, just, you know, if your hands are soft and you might get splinters or something like that. No judgment here at all. Just, I know it can happen. And, you know, if you're working with a pallet, especially when you're deconstructing a pallet, you're going to have to be prying and pushing all the time. So you may want to wear gloves, definitely safety glasses for that too, because there could be nails flying everywhere. And, you know, just be careful. You know, I'm not responsible for you. I'm just showing you what I did. So be careful and enjoy. Alrighty guys, so I had already finished up this video and I'm gonna try to toss this in. I doubt I'll have time. The rain's coming and I don't feel like coming back out here when the rain's over, I'll be honest, and working on this anymore today. So I'll shoot a video of when I use these things finally, just to show you what they look like. But I was talking to, once I finished up, I was like, man, this is like impossible to load. Just let me try to film me loading it, and I could not get them loaded because they wouldn't stand up. And that's just because the way I did this down here. So I'm like, well, how am I going to do this? Okay, I'll give it I'll recess it down, you know, I'll give it what do they call it? I'll basically drill around the hole so that way the nut and the wash will go in. Well, I didn't have a bit big enough to do that. I had one I could do it with, but it wouldn't work, blah, 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 blah. And then it hit me. I was like, Will, just put some wood down here and down here to hold it. And I went, no, is it really that simple? Well, guess what? It is. So I had some 2x4 laying around, so I cut the 2x4. But, you know, when you grab your pallets, grab 2 pallets. You know, don't be afraid to grab 2 pallets if they'll let you. Because extra wood, you know, and you can make sure you're getting good quality, you know, because out of 1 pallet you may only get 6 pieces of wood that are actually good. So, you know, if you grab 2, that's potentially 12, obviously. And all I did was I cut some 2x4 that I had lying around, 4 inches long, because this is 3.5 inches wide. So I cut one 4 so it would stick over 1/4 inch on each side, and it works perfect. Doesn't get in the way when you're walking, and it keeps it stable when you're loading it. So you can sit them down, set them down. It's 2 inches, which these are only 1/2 inch, so plenty of room there. And as you can see, I now have 2 foamers handles with 18-inch piping, and I got plenty of standard plates to toss on there. So next time you see these, it'll be in a video of me using them. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you got some ideas, or, you know, comment below if you think I should have done this differently, or why didn't I go with a certain thing. You know, I can't think of everything right now because, well, I could never think of everything. But if you're wasting your money buying strongman equipment instead of just making it yourself, and you have every ability to, you've got power tools. Even if you don't have power tools, you saw in the beginning I started with a screwdriver. I have access to a drill. I'm going to use a drill, you know. But, you know, look around you. Strongman training is nothing more than picking up heavy ass weight and moving it around. And there's no reason you need to spend a lot of money to do that. You know, get free tires from somewhere. Pallets are free. Yeah, I had to spend money on the pipes, but, you know, if I really, really wanted to, I could have saved money there too and gone with like PVC for some of these. You know, the pipes that the plates are going to slide onto don't have to be metal. I just chose metal because I had the money to spend and they were a good deal. So that's all there is to it. If you have every ability, hang on, let me let this motorcycle pass real quick. If you have every ability to do this, and everybody does, I'm not some crazy mechanics or physics or, you know, wizard who just somehow knows how to do all this stuff. You know, I had to learn. I had to go through it. And I've done this kind of stuff before. And that's how I know how to do it. But you know what? Jump in. Worst case, you get your feet wet. You know what I'm saying? So if you have every ability to, but you're not doing, then what's your excuse?